Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty interesting stuff to go and talk about. Now, this is more in regards to the Xbox acquisition, as you guys may or may not know, but we finally are seeing someone chiming on in that I was kind of surprised they haven't really talked too much about in the first place. And this in regards to the Microsoft CEO, Satya, hopefully I'm saying that right, Satya Nadella, which hopefully I said that correctly. If not, you guys can let me know in the comment section down below, where we finally are now seeing some statements coming out about what's going on and what's happening here. Now, we've heard a lot, obviously, from Phil Spencer because the Xbox acquisition is more on his plate, but obviously Microsoft, as the parent company, definitely kind of cares about what's going on for a future subsidiary, and as well also drop in $70 billion. I'm sure there's a lot of Microsoft heads that are also watching this deal very closely. But it's kind of fun to go and see them actually finally come on out, and they came out a few days ago, so we're going to talk about this, talk about the deals and everything else going out here too as well, and a little bit other Xbox news, a bit of Game Pass news too as well, because I do think there's actually some pretty good stuff I think coming out too in the next near future. So very intriguing things kind of coming on out over here, and just, well, it's kind of always fun to get to hear, like I said, what these kind of big higher ups always have a chance to go and say. So let's go talk about that. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, as well all the other good stuff as well down below, and let's talk about it. So as I mentioned, we do have the Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, who's now finally breaking his silence to talk about the Xbox Activision deal, and as well, a little part with the slowing economy. So thankfully, everyone still on the Xbox side keeps on saying that they're very confident in the deal finally going on through. When it comes to all this type of stuff, Phil Spencer is saying good stuff. A lot of the executives as well are saying good stuff. Activision executives too, saying good stuff. And as you guys can see, the Microsoft CEOs are also pretty confident. But that doesn't also fully go mean a lot, mainly because we've also been seeing different regions, like in the UK, Brazil, and a few other countries kind of being like, well, maybe not, or well, let's go and kind of take a few steps back and kind of relook at all this stuff. And I do think that's a pretty big thing to note, because a lot of these things are not as as big as we were kind of expecting. So I'm a little bit disappointed because you kind of want to know more. Like, I'm a gossip person. I love it. We're making these YouTube videos. I want to talk about it. And I want to know exactly, like, what's the percentage? I want to hear what lawyers are saying. Like, you could still see, like, a soft block, but I want to see, what legislatures are saying, because that's, like, the important stuff. So kind of hearing all these folks saying they're very confident is good, because they're probably talking with lawyers and are probably involved a little bit more than we are in the normal processes. But I want to know even more. So what do you need to know? Microsoft is attempting to purchase Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. Activision Blizzard makes popular games like Candy Crush, Call of Duty, and World of Warcraft. Despite some regulatory jitters, Microsoft would still be far from overtaking its primary gaming competitors such as Sony's PlayStation and Chinese tech giant Tencent. And as well, Nadella also discussed Microsoft's approach to the weakening economy too as well, with growing inflation. So Microsoft is working to acquire Activision's Blizzard's for its Xbox gaming division. The deal is valued around $69 billion and would provide a large profit for current shareholders, given that the valuation is far higher than Activision's lagging share price. Activision is known for games like Candy Crush Saga, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and many more. Across the company's decades-long history, Activision has swept up massive content libraries over the years. Despite Activision's impressive library, it's also, funny enough, lost a lot of its user base in recent years, owing to stiff competition from companies like Tencent, who own Riot Games, and they've also had a big issue retaining key staff with, all the scandals that have been going on too as well. So it is kind of a big point too, especially with how the market's kind of been, is that, dude, I really don't think Activision is really worth $69 billion. They tried to go public with this Activision acquisition when the market was kind of at its peak. And if they would have waited maybe an extra 9 months or so, they probably would have been able to get this deal maybe for even like $45 or $50 billion. Now, Microsoft makes a lot of money, don't get us wrong, but the big thing is that $20 billion is still like $20 billion. That's up a lot. So the CEO, Satya, also offered some fresh comments finally on the deal, which is now currently still subject to regulatory scrutiny in the UK. And they actually did go and put the deal and buyout on pause to do a deep dive into it. Of course, any acquisition of this size will be going through scrutiny to kind of reassure stockholders and folks. But we are very confident that will come out, Nadella said. Reacting to regulators, Nadella noted Microsoft's position in the global industry, which puts them behind companies like Sony and Nintendo and Tencent, depending on the metrics used. Remarking upon Sony's PlayStation's recent acquisition spree and regulatory scrutiny, he quipped, "If this is about competition, then let us go and have some competition." Now, that would kind of make a little bit of sense too, because in theory, the Xbox has been selling less than PlayStation, so it's hard for them to be a full-on monopoly. But as well, they also do have the Game Pass, and we've kind of mentioned a lot in these videos. It's more about the smaller content rather than the bigger content, which I'd also probably agree on that too as well. Mainly because if you are a smaller company, you just can't compete with it. But it's crazy to go and see this because we still want to know their official stance on Call of Duty. Is it going to be a 3-year contract and after that you're done? Is it a forever contract? What about if Nintendo wanted to get in with like a Switch Pro? We still don't have those official comments, and I think a lot of folks are waiting for that. So Microsoft has repeatedly signaled its intent to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation in perpetuity, but Sony has responded by continually pushing the idea that it could lose the franchise entirely to Xbox. So I'd want to see these contracts public and live. I want to see all the information, and I want to know what's going on, because if we don't fully know, what's the point? I want them to be like, yes, the next 50 years you're good, or we can work out deals just to pay extra money, whatever it may go and be. So during the discussion too, besides all the Call of Duty stuff, which I think this is on this awkward kind of still standalone side, where it doesn't seem like it's going a lot. Like, I'm sure it's still progressing, but going through the courts is always a very, very slow process. You have weeks between meetings, you have regulatory issues, you have other countries chiming on in. It's a lot of legwork, especially for something that big. And that's why I kind of feel like this whole Call of Duty deal wasn't really that worthwhile. I think they probably should have waited a few more extra months and kind of let some of these bigger games almost maybe flop. Had like World of Warcraft just had an expansion, Overwatch 2 coming out soon. And at the end of the day, and also Call of Duty. So I think if they would have waited like in 6 months and did like a March of next year, I feel like they could have got a lot more extra money. Plus with the economy slowing down, it would have been good. So during the discussion, Nadella also discussed Microsoft's position within the wider economy. Central banks across the globe are raising interest rates to cope with rising inflation in an attempt to depress borrowing and drive down consumer prices. The turmoil has trade-offs for borrowing, which will naturally hit those with debts and mortgages, as employers will also seek to cut their own costs with layoffs and decrease investment. Nadella is confident that Microsoft can weather the storm, though, which I think is also really nice too if you guys work at Microsoft or want to be a part of Microsoft too as well, because thank God you're probably hopefully not going to lose your job, and they want to keep on expanding, and even if they lose a little bit of their stock prices, ideally they'll still make some good revenue prices. So he says the constraints are real. Inflation is definitely all around us. I always go back to the point that in an unnecessary time, in an inflationary time, software is the deflationary force. Microsoft is ensuring that our customers are able to do more with less. So that might be good as well with their outlook on Game Pass and trying to stick with Game Pass and trying to put these games like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, or whatever it may be, Diablo, Overwatch, up on Game Pass. Hopefully make people save some money, but as well kind of get them locked on in for a long-term game. Microsoft is ensuring that customers are able to do more with less. So in terms of outlook, I am optimistic about Microsoft's value proposition. I'm optimistic about our share, but you're not immune from anything that a macroeconomic headwind. So it's kind of basically saying like if the entire world goes into a depression or a recession, they're just going to have to weather the storm and keep going. But thankfully, Microsoft's been through quite a few already, and I'm sure they'll be fine because they have a lot of different profit resumes, things from Xbox to actual Microsoft products to Windows products, as well as also all the hosting as well. So they're doing perfectly fine. Microsoft, thankfully, has not resorted to large layoffs rounds yet, but like many tech corps, they likely aren't off the table. Nadella said Microsoft will join other firms in an attempt to do more with less as supply constraints, Putin's aggression in Ukraine, and post-pandemic problems continue to uptrend the global economy. So at least it is still looking pretty positive on the Xbox acquisition, but it's kind of crazy to finally see them kind of come out and be like, saying like, yeah, we're still a strong company. There's always that chance something could go wrong, but we're still doing pretty good. So at least it's kind of nice to see for the future of Xbox. And as well, there's also quite a few different games too still that have been coming out on Game Pass, as you guys have probably had a chance to see. If you guys missed some of these, I did go check out this one for Hellsinger. Very good game. Deathloop did finally come out. The PS5 exclusive is now open everywhere too as well. And there's a few other cool games that are kind of coming out in the indie side. I did go check out Slime Rancher, which is also cool. Moon Scars looks kind of cool. Grounded is full again there officially soon. And you know, honestly, I kind of want to play this Let's Build a Zoo game too as well. Valheim, which has been a pretty popular Steam game for a while. Paw Patrol, maybe not my full-on style, but it's kind of cool to get to go and see a lot of these games coming out in the near future. And in case you guys do want to check out most of these other games, there's a lot of good stuff coming out on Game Pass, as I'm sure you guys go know. But kind of cool to see some CEOs kind of coming out of the woodwork and give their comments. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below, Twitter and Twitch streams down below. Weebles and everything else and target links and stuff too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.